Orzhov came second in the latest Pauper challenge with only one copy in the tournament. This deck relies on playing value creatures with enter the battlefield effects, like a Spirited Companion, to provide cards throughout the game and later blink them with Ephemerate or return them to hand with the likes of Core Skyfisher. Other important cards from it are Cast Down as premium removal, Bojuka Bug as a way to combat graveyard strategies, Goliath Paladin because initiative is broken, and Pegasus Guardian as an extra ephemerate effect. This is an interesting deck to try, and if you enjoy this kind of content, please give a like to the video and subscribe. It helps me a lot. Without further ado, let's jump into the games.
Alright, we're on the play and we are playing against Dimir Terror. We are starting with the Traveling Inspector and setting up for our turns by playing our tap lands after that. Opponent's not doing much, so we proceed to crack the blues and just play the lands. Opponent's still not playing anything, so I will just keep attacking, but not playing anything until they kind of tap out, because I don't want to run into counterspell without a plan. I'm playing Cast Down at the end of turn to evade a counterspell, and they didn't do anything, so I will just proceed and play my Spirited Companion and draw a card. I will keep attacking and doing chip damage while opponent is at it, and they resolve a Gourmag Anvil that will later on get killed by Chainer's Edict. For now, I will just blink my Spirited Companion and keep drawing cards. Again, this deck is not going to be winning very fast, so I will just keep making a little bit of damage while we are at it. And keep playing creatures until they concede, as they do right now. As far as game 2 goes, we just bring in the Graveyard Hate and proceed to play our creatures accordingly. Spirited Companion is great because it also provides us card advantage, and I don't think they want to counter a 1/1. So I will keep attacking with it and just playing more of my creatures according to what they do. One of the big cards against this deck is going to be Bojuka Bug, because I will keep them from playing their big creatures by exiling their graveyard. I will return my Spirited Companion so I can keep drawing more cards and not running out of gas. I will keep doing chip damage as previous game, playing my Spirited Companion. An opponent is making the mistake of playing stuff before my turn ends, so I will just keep exiling their graveyard, and they concede because they realize what it's been up to right now. Alright, second game is going to be against Monored, and while they'll play their 1-drop, Traveling Inspector was them very good. Unfortunately, they draw Thermo Alchemist, but we have a couple of turns to get rid of one, except that they draw a second one. So we can just really get rid of the first one they play, and at least we are well in the Voldaren Epicure. But the damage they will deal with just one Thermo Alchemist and a Chain of Burn spell is going to be probably too much that we can handle. The life gain that we run main deck is going to help a bit, but I don't think it's going to be enough for us to survive. We are already at 2 life points, and while drawing an Inspired Overseer is good, we just are at the face of them drawing a single point of damage to get us killed, and they exactly did that. Post sideboard, we are gonna rely on our life gain cards in order to survive and get with the game. Inspiring Overseer is going to be good, and we also need to draw removal to that Thermo Alchemist, which we did. So we're kind of okay, but also opponent needs drawing all of the Thermo Alchemists these games, as well as we are drawing our removal. So I'm gonna keep linking my creatures that gain life and just playing accordingly. Opponent playing Smash to us to deal more damage and prevent my card draw, but Inspiring Overseer is going to be very good, as it's proving right now, because it's already gaining like 3 life at this point. I'm just gonna play Goliath Paladin, and if opponent is not careful, it's going to be facing lethal in just a matter of turn. Opponent keeps playing their creatures, but they are running out of gas, and while I can blink my flyers, I prefer to blink the Goliath Paladin to advance further in the dungeon, and then proceed to deal damage and put them to 2 life points. Opponent is digging for answers, and they didn't find any. So we are proceeding to the last match, and this is a good hand. So we are starting with the Traveling Inspector, and one more land will be ideal. Well, we're gonna play the Dawnbringer Cleric, which is very good at gaining life, and we're gonna keep blinking it in order to gain more life as well. We played the Overseer, but it got killed immediately, so it proves to be the card that won us the game last game. So we're gonna keep bouncing creatures, bouncing lands to play more spells, and bouncing the Dawnbring and clearing in order to gain more life. At this point, I drew another creature that gains life while enter the battlefield. So I'm gonna play it and put me out of burn range. I'm already putting them into 5, and they proceed just to playing burn spell to my face, but that is not enough to win the game. Alright, our last match is going to be against Tron, and this is a harder matchup because we don't have a very good late game plan, and our deck is kind of slow against them. So while we have some answers like a couple of removal spells for their creatures, their long game plan is better than us. So the way we win is to actually faster than them, or try and raise them before they play their creatures. Unfortunately, they also have quite the package of spot removal and board waves to prevent us from doing that. We still are going to try and keep the board clean, and exiling the graveyard is going to be key for them not to pull off all of their recursion spells together. I'm gonna rebuild the board again, but it's already turn 7 and they are almost complete with life points, so it's going to be a hard battle. It's going to be a very long game for sure. Opponents right now just trying to dig for their creatures, and Muldrifter is going to be a way for them to draw cards. I'm gonna kill it and try exile it, but they use Pulse of Morass in response to redraw it. So it's going to be a threat that I'm going to be trying to kill. In here, I made the mistake of killing the Muldrifter because I wanted to play the Goliath Paladin, but in reality, I should have killed the Stormhand Dignitary. This is because they can just do exactly this, tutoring for a Ghostly Flicker, and lock me out of the game. Second game is going to be difficult as well, but we rely on cards like Duress or Dust to Dust to both get rid of their hand and also get them off colors. I'm not encouraging anyone to play for Dust to Dust though, but a couple of them should be good enough to at least slow them down and get them without colors, because they need the energy refractors to smooth their mana. And if you get rid of those, there's no way they can pull off ahead in the late game. For now, they get rid of my hand, but I will just keep playing my creatures, and the advantage of this deck is that I can rebuild as well by drawing cards with all of my enter the battlefield effects. I top deck a Goliath Paladin, but I will attack first to see if they want to pull something before attacks. I will now cast Goliath Paladin, but sadly it met a counter spell in the way. Still, they are at 7, and I'm in a kind of a good shape. And they played 2 energy refractors, so now I can fire Dust to Dust and then get rid of their color mana. I will attack with my Corsair Fissures, put them to 5, and now getting rid of those things is going to be huge. I'm returning the Biojuket Bug to proceed to also exile the graveyard. I will attack again, and I think they paid everything wrong because they cast Mystical Teachings and they just conceded. So we proceed to game number 3. This is a slow hand, but we have a bunch of ways to draw more cards from the game, so it's very likely that we end up drawing all of our hate cards, as we did. So I will attack first, get rid of the Expedition Map and Energy Refractor, and I will keep applying some pressure and exiling their graveyard. I will keep attacking, playing my small creatures, playing Duress, and this is key because I top deck the Duress, but they unwind it. And I don't want to play the Core Sky Fissure to return my Spirited Companion because I want to save it for later. I blink the Spirit Companion, however, and draw another card. I attack, and now I can play the Chainer Ascetic, but I know they have a unwinding hand, so I prefer just to not do it and just keep playing my creatures this way. They lock me out of the game, kind of, but without a Ghostly Flicker or another way to bounce spells, I'm still having a chance for this. So I will just play my big creatures and then proceed to attack. Opponent's doing some blocks, and now they do Pulse of Murasa to gain some life and not die. With this, I will proceed and play the Boyuka out, and in response they have to play Pulse of Murasa to the Muldrifters. This opened me a chance for playing both Chainer's Edict and getting rid of their creatures. So it was overall a pretty good turn, and the patience proved to be worth it as we now end up winning the game.
Now, if you're new to Pauper and want to test other cool decks, click into that playlist. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.